Everyone's always asking me, Terry, what's a comfortable salary to live in Virginia, especially here in the Hampton Roads area? So let's talk about it, because there's a big difference between just surviving and actually living comfortably in this market. The truth is, the number most people think they need and what it really takes are two totally different things. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm going to break this down in a way that makes sense, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out if you can afford to live the lifestyle you want right here in Virginia. And if you're ready to take the next step, you can always reach me directly or visit heroeshometeam.com if you're looking to buy, or myhomesvalue.com if you're thinking about selling. You'll also find my contact info down in the description. Now, here's what's interesting. Virginia and the Hampton Roads area have always been viewed as a more affordable part of the East Coast. But lately, that affordable label doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Between housing costs, groceries, transportation, and just the cost of enjoying life, the numbers are adding up faster than most folks expect. So let's start where it hits the hardest: housing. Everyone's seen the headlines, right? Home prices across Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, and the rest of Hampton Roads have climbed sharply over the last few years. The median home price in Virginia Beach, according to the latest market data, is sitting right around $400,000. Some places are creeping even higher depending on the neighborhood. It's a competitive market because this area has that mix of coastal charm, solid job opportunities, and a great quality of life, and that drives demand. Now, if you're renting, you're not escaping it either. The average rent across Hampton Roads is hovering between $1,500 and $1,800 a month, depending on where you are and what you're looking for. In certain parts of Virginia Beach, one-bedroom apartments are pushing $1,700 a month or more. And for a family who needs more space, say a 2 or 3 bedroom, you can easily cross that $2,000 line. So when people say Virginia is affordable, it's not wrong compared to some major metro areas. But here's the catch. Incomes haven't climbed at the same pace as housing costs. The math just doesn't balance out like it used to. Now let's talk about one of the biggest questions I get as an agent. Should you rent or should you buy? Because that's where people often get tripped up. Renting gives you flexibility. You can move when you want. You don't have to worry about fixing the roof, replacing the HVAC, or paying property taxes, but you are subject to rent increases and no equity is being built. Buying, on the other hand, gives you long-term control and the ability to build equity over time. But there's a huge difference between what you can afford and what you can afford comfortably. I tell my clients this all the time. Just because the bank approves you for $500,000 doesn't mean you should buy a $500,000 house. Here's a real example. Let's say you find a nice home for $400,000. You put 20% down, so that's $80,000 up front. You finance the remaining $320,000 at around 6% interest for 30 years. Your principal and interest payment alone will be about $1,900 a month. Then you add in taxes, homeowner's insurance, and a little bit of cushion for repairs or maintenance, because something always breaks. And you're realistically looking at somewhere between $2,400 and $2,800 a month. Now compare that to renting. A 2-bedroom in Virginia Beach averages about $1,773 a month. You're paying less month to month, but you're not building equity or ownership. So which is better? It depends on your lifestyle, your goals, and how long you plan to stay put. If you're planning to be here for more than 5 years, buying typically wins out in the long run. But if you think you might relocate or your career's in transition, renting could actually save you money and stress. Now let's talk about the part that catches everyone off guard, the hidden costs. You'd be shocked how many people budget just for the mortgage and forget the extras. Property taxes here in Hampton Roads can range anywhere from $2,500 to $4,500 per year, depending on where you live and the assessed value. Homeowner's insurance can add another $100 to $200 a month. And if you're in an area with a homeowners association, you could be paying anywhere from $50 to $300 a month in HOA dues. Then there's maintenance. No one likes to think about it, but things break. A new roof might cost you 10 grand. A new HVAC system, another 7,000 to 8,000. Even basic upkeep like landscaping, pest control, and home repairs can run you a couple $100 a month if you spread it out. And don't forget utilities. Between electric, water, sewer, gas, trash pickup, and internet, many homeowners are seeing monthly utility bills between $300 and $500. If you're commuting, that's fuel and maintenance on your vehicle. If you work from home, that's higher power bills and maybe faster internet. It all adds up. So when I talk about a comfortable salary, I'm not just talking about the ability to pay your bills. I'm talking about living life without that financial anxiety, the ability to save, to go out occasionally, to travel a bit, to not stress every time an unexpected expense shows up. So what does that number actually look like? For a single person, if you're renting around $1,700 a month, you'll need a gross annual income of around $70,000 just to stay under that 30% housing cost guideline. But that's just rent. Once you factor in groceries, transportation, insurance, and a little breathing room, you're realistically looking closer to $90,000 to $100,000 a year to feel truly comfortable. Not stretched, not stressed, but comfortable. Now, if you're supporting a family, those numbers climb fast. A family of 4 in Hampton Roads with a $2,800 mortgage, car payments, childcare, healthcare, and everything else will likely need to bring in at least $120,000 to $140,000 a year to live comfortably. And that's before you start putting away for savings or college. I know those numbers sound high, but that's the real cost of comfort in today's world. And the reason I'm so passionate about sharing this is because too many people set unrealistic expectations. They look at what they used to make work 10 years ago and try to apply it to today's market. The math just doesn't work anymore. So what can you do about it? The good news is there are ways to make it happen if you plan smart. One strategy I recommend, especially for first-time buyers, is to look in neighborhoods that are up and coming rather than already at the top of the market. There are parts of Hampton, Chesapeake, and even Norfolk where values are rising steadily, but prices haven't maxed out yet. You can get a solid home, build equity over time, and watch that area appreciate as more development moves in. Another strategy is to take advantage of down payment assistance programs. Virginia has several programs that can help first-time buyers with grants or forgivable loans that reduce how much you need up front. There are also local lender incentives where the seller might cover part of your closing costs. It's not just about finding the right house, it's about finding the right financing. If you're someone who's open to creative options, house hacking is another smart play. Maybe you buy a home with a basement or a separate in-law suite that you can rent out. That extra income can offset your monthly payment and make ownership more attainable. I've had clients who covered half their mortgage just by renting a spare room on a long-term lease. And if you're on the selling side, strategy matters too. Don't just throw your home on the market and hope for the best. Small updates make a big difference. A fresh coat of neutral paint, updated light fixtures, and a tidy front yard can change how buyers perceive your property and how much they're willing to pay. Timing also matters. Listing in late spring or early summer when buyer activity peaks can get you more competition and better offers. What I love about this business is helping people make smart, confident decisions. I've seen families go from thinking homeownership was impossible to holding the keys in just a few months because they planned strategically and got the right guidance. That's what makes all the difference. Now, let's address one more misconception I hear all the time, that you can't live well in Hampton Roads unless you're making 6 figures. That's not true. You can absolutely live here on less. It just takes smart budgeting and knowing your priorities. Maybe that means choosing a smaller home, but in a great neighborhood. Maybe that means driving a slightly older car, but saving for a down payment. Comfort isn't about the number on your paycheck. It's about control, balance, and making sure your money works for you. At the end of the day, Virginia, especially Hampton Roads, is still one of the best places to live on the East Coast. You've got the beaches, the history, the local restaurants, the small town feel with big city amenities. There's opportunity here, you just have to know how to plan for it. So if you're thinking about buying your first home or even upgrading to your next one, I'd love to help you get there. My team and I specialize in helping clients across Virginia make smart moves that fit their lifestyle and their budget. You can visit heroeshometeam.com if you're looking to buy, or myhomesvalue.com if you're ready to sell. And if you've got questions about your own situation, don't wait, reach out. You can find my contact info down in the description, or call or text me directly at the number below. I'm always happy to chat and help you figure out what's realistic for your goals. Before we wrap up, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and drop a comment below. I want to know, what do you think it takes to live comfortably here in Virginia? Are you surprised by the numbers, or do they line up with what you're seeing in your own budget? Let me know, because these are the real conversations people should be having. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm Terry Trexler, serving all of Virginia. especially the Hampton Roads area, and helping buyers and sellers make smarter moves every single day. Whether you're ready to buy, sell, or just get the facts straight about your next step, I'm here for you. I'll see you in the next one.